What if I told you that one of the smallest countries in South America is now home to some of the biggest projects in the world? In 2025, Guyana isn't just making headlines for oil, it's transforming its entire economy, infrastructure, and global reputation. From futuristic highways to massive energy projects, Guyana is building a future that could rival the Gulf states. Stay tuned, because today we're counting down the top 5 biggest projects transforming Guyana in 2025. Project number 1, the Gas-to-Energy Project, Whales Development. This isn't just a project, it's the largest energy initiative in Guyana's history, costing nearly $1.9 billion. Here's why it's groundbreaking. For decades, Guyana has relied on imported fuels and outdated power systems, resulting in some of the highest electricity costs in South America. This project will transport natural gas from the offshore oil fields in the Stabroek Block to a massive onshore plant at Wales, where it will be converted into reliable, cleaner electricity. The impact? Energy costs are expected to drop by nearly 50%, giving ordinary Guyanese households cheaper bills and making it easier for industries to thrive. Once completed, this plant will produce 250 megawatts of electricity, enough to power new factories, technology parks, and even electric vehicle expansion. Experts say this is the foundation for Guyana's industrial revolution, a shift from being just an oil exporter to becoming a modern manufacturing hub. Project number 2. New international highways and roads. Guyana may be small, but it sits in a strategic location between the Caribbean and Brazil, the giant of South America. Until now, poor infrastructure has kept Guyana isolated. That's changing fast. A brand new highway connecting Georgetown to Lethem is under construction. Once finished, it will link Guyana's capital to the Brazilian border, opening up a major trade corridor. Imagine Brazilian goods traveling directly to the Atlantic Ocean through Guyana's ports, cutting transportation costs and boosting regional trade. These roads will also bring development to remote regions, making it easier for farmers, miners, and small businesses to connect with markets. Beyond trade, highways are also a geopolitical move. Brazil, China, and the US all see Guyana as a key partner for logistics and shipping. In other words, these roads aren't just asphalt, they are lifelines that connect Guyana to the world. Project number 3, the new Demerara River Bridge. If you've ever been to Georgetown, you know the struggle. The old floating bridge across the Demerara River causes massive traffic jams and delays. But in 2025, that's finally changing. The new Demerara River Bridge will be a 4-lane, fixed-span, modern structure, a complete upgrade for one of the busiest routes in the country. It will be able to handle thousands of vehicles daily, easing congestion and improving the flow of goods and people across regions. The bridge also supports heavier commercial loads, which is crucial for moving oil equipment, containers, and construction materials. Beyond the practical benefits, this bridge is a symbol of modernization, showing that Guyana is moving away from outdated infrastructure and embracing international standards. For residents, this means less travel time, less stress, and more opportunities. For investors, it signals that Guyana is serious about building for the future. Project number 4, massive housing and urban expansion projects. Oil wealth is bringing not just money, but also people. Guyana is preparing for a population boom. Locals returning home, foreign workers, and international investors. To handle this, the government is rolling out massive housing projects across the country. Entire new neighborhoods are being built with modern designs, better roads, schools, hospitals, and green spaces. Tens of thousands of houses are under construction, aimed at both affordable living for citizens and luxury living for expatriates. Plans for smart city-style communities are on the table, with integrated technology, renewable energy, and sustainable urban layouts. These projects are also expected to create thousands of jobs in construction, real estate, and related industries. By 2030, Georgetown and surrounding regions may look completely different, more like a modern oil capital than the sleepy city it once was. Project 5, Offshore Oil and Gas Mega-Fields. This is the project that changed Guyana forever. Without oil, none of the other mega projects would even be possible. Back in 2015, ExxonMobil announced the first major offshore discovery. What seemed like a lucky find quickly turned into one of the largest oil booms of the 21st century. Fast forward to 2025, and Guyana now holds over 11 billion barrels of recoverable reserves, making it one of the most resource-rich countries per capita on the planet. Massive floating production platforms, known as FPSOs, are being installed offshore in the Stabroek Block, each capable of producing hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil daily. By the end of 2025, production is expected to exceed 1.2 million barrels per day, placing Guyana among the top oil producers in the Americas, alongside giants like Brazil, Mexico, and the United States. But oil is more than just numbers. It's about impact. Oil revenues are being funneled into Guyana's Natural Resource Fund, a sovereign wealth fund designed to invest in schools, hospitals, housing, and infrastructure. At the same time, there's a warning. Many nations that struck oil before, like Nigeria and Venezuela, fell victim to the resource curse. Guyana must manage its wealth carefully to avoid corruption, inequality, and overdependence on oil. If handled wisely, this oil wealth could lift the entire population out of poverty within a generation. So yes, oil is the foundation. But what's even more exciting is how Guyana is using that wealth to diversify into other industries. Which brings us to the next projects. Project number 6, new deepwater port and shipping expansion. Guyana is not just digging oil, it's preparing to become a major global logistics hub. A brand new deepwater port is under development to handle larger vessels, oil tankers, and container ships. Unlike the shallow ports Guyana currently uses, this one will allow Panamax and post-Panamax ships to dock directly. This port will serve as a gateway between the Caribbean and South America, giving Guyana a powerful advantage in trade. Investors from the United States, China, and even the Middle East are showing interest, because whoever controls shipping in this region will have massive influence. Beyond oil exports, the port is designed to handle agriculture, mining products, manufactured goods, and regional trade with Brazil and Suriname. This means Guyana could transform from an energy exporter into a transportation powerhouse, just like Panama with its canal or Singapore with its ports. Project number 7, renewable energy and hydropower expansion. While oil dominates headlines, Guyana is also looking ahead to a clean energy future. The government is pushing forward with the Amela Falls Hydropower Project, a multi-billion-dollar initiative to generate over 160 megawatts of renewable electricity. Combined with solar farms and wind projects, Guyana aims to diversify its energy mix, making sure the country isn't trapped in oil dependency. Hydropower will provide stable, green energy to both cities and rural communities, helping Guyana meet its climate commitments under the Paris Agreement. With oil money funding renewable projects, Guyana could become a rare example of an oil-rich nation using fossil fuel wealth to build a green future. This combination of oil and renewables could make Guyana a model for sustainable development in the developing world. Guyana is no longer just a hidden gem. It's rewriting the story of development in South America, from oil fields in the Atlantic to highways linking Brazil to futuristic housing projects, bridges, deep water ports, and renewable energy plants. This small country is punching far above its weight. But here's the question: will Guyana become the Dubai of South America, a shining model of transformation? Or will it fall into the same traps that other resource-rich nations have faced? Corruption, inequality, and environmental risks? Only time will tell. Share your thoughts in the comments below, because the world is watching Guyana right now. And if you want to stay updated on the biggest changes shaping South America and the Caribbean, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. The future of Guyana has just begun, and it might be bigger than anyone imagined.